I never imagined that the woman I loved so deeply would one day look me in the eyes and say she didn't want to be my wife anymore. We had been married for 10 years, shared countless memories, built a home together, and even discussed starting a family soon. But none of that mattered on the evening she sat me down and uttered those heart-piercing words. Her exact words were, "I don't want to be a wife right now. I need to find myself." For a moment, I thought she was joking, but the seriousness in her eyes told me otherwise. She wasn't confused. She had made up her mind. I just sat there in silence, staring at the woman I thought I knew. The truth was, for the last few months, something had changed in her. She was always distant, glued to her phone, going out more often and spending more time with her friends. I had my suspicions, but I didn't want to believe she could be cheating. Not her, not us. But hearing her say those words made everything click. The late nights, the secretive behavior, the sudden disinterest in our relationship, it all pointed to one thing. There was someone else. I didn't want to accuse her outright, so I simply replied, "Then I will," and stood up. She looked confused and asked, "You will what?" I didn't answer. I just walked into our bedroom, packed a small bag, and left the house. I didn't slam the door. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I just walked out quietly because deep down, I knew it was over. For the next few days, I stayed at my brother's apartment. I didn't explain much, just told him I needed space. I took time to breathe, to think, to process what had happened. It felt like my entire world had crumbled in one evening. After a week, I returned to our home, not to fix things, but to gather my things and start over. When I walked in, she was there. Her expression shifted between guilt and surprise. "You're back," she said softly. I nodded just to get my stuff. She tried to talk. She said she was sorry if she hurt me, that she just felt lost, that it wasn't about anyone else. But I wasn't buying it anymore. I looked her straight in the eyes and said, "You don't want to be a wife? That's fine, but I won't be your backup plan when you're done finding yourself." That hit her. She wasn't expecting me to be calm. She thought I'd beg or argue, but I had already made peace with it. I didn't want to be with someone who treated commitment like a phase. As I packed, she kept trying to explain herself. She said she loved me, that she was just confused. I asked her one question, "Are you seeing someone else?" Her silence was the only answer I needed. I didn't react. I zipped my suitcase and said, "I hope you find what you're looking for, but I won't be here when you do." I moved into a small apartment across town and started rebuilding my life. It wasn't easy. Some nights were filled with memories, some with tears. But over time, things got better. I reconnected with old friends, focused on work, and picked up hobbies I had abandoned. Slowly, the pain faded. I realized how much of myself I had given up to keep that marriage alive. 2 months later, she reached out. She wanted to meet for coffee. Against my better judgment, I agreed. We met at a quiet cafe. She looked tired, not physically, but emotionally drained. She told me the truth. She had been seeing someone else. It was exciting at first, but now she realized it wasn't love. She had made a mistake. She wanted us back. I listened to her, but my heart didn't move. I asked her, "What did you expect me to do when you left? Wait for you like nothing happened?" She had no answer. I told her I forgave her, not for her, but for my own peace. But I couldn't take her back. Too much trust had been broken. Too much had changed. She cried. I didn't. Not this time. I had cried enough. I stood up, paid the bill, and told her I wished her well. Then I walked away again, just like I did the first time. Only this time, it felt final. Months passed. I met someone new. She was kind, honest, and made me feel seen. She had also gone to betrayal, so she understood pain, but more importantly, she understood loyalty. I didn't rush into love again, but over time it grew naturally. There was no drama, no mind games, just peace, something I hadn't felt in years. Looking back, I'm thankful my wife said what she did. It hurt, yes, but it set me free. It pushed me to find myself, not in someone else, but in my own strength. Sometimes the worst heartbreak leads to the best healing. I thought losing her would destroy me, but it turned out walking away from someone who didn't value me was the best decision I ever made. Now, every time I hear someone say they need to find themselves, I smile and think, I found myself too when I stopped chasing someone who was already gone.